there, fellow trailblazers. Welcome back to Insights by Outside X, a one-stop shop for all things IPM here at DOMS Nalsar. My name is Jigyasa Sharma and I'm part of the batch of 2027 here for the Department of Management Studies, Nalsar University of Law. And today, I have with me here Sneh Prasad and Ishita Chaturvedi. Sneh is a fellow batchmate of mine from the year of 2027 and Ishita is my senior, the first batch of the IPM here at DOMS from the batch of 2026. So thank you so much guys for being here today. So both of these individuals have been really inspiring, their journeys, their stories. They have been involved in a lot of life projects, academic projects, internships that they've been doing, a lot of freelancing. In fact, Sneh has interned, freelanced and done life projects in the domains of eSports, anime, astrology and other academic projects. He has in fact streamed the Rocket League Championship for the South Asia Pacific region. And whereas Ishita, my senior, she has worked extensively with various organizations, including Telepatio, which deals in brand strategy, creative design, apart from social media marketing, digital marketing, PR marketing, as well as content writing. Thank you so much, guys, for being here today. So, I mean, my question is, in fact, to the both of you. I'm curious, what made you guys bridge the academic course that is part of the IPM and then venture into these freelancing projects? Sneh, why don't you take this question?
Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Sneh. Can't go more about it. Jigyasa already did my work. Thank you. So, what bridged me to it? Right. I had not a mentor, I had very close friend of mine. Alright. And he kind of pushed me into it. Okay. So, I already had an interest for it. And this interest spans years. Right. All right. And he was the one who actually got me into it. And since then, I have taken it as something that I would like to pursue. Okay. Since we don't have a corporate job right now.
Right.
And that's something which has inspired me to do a lot in the domain that I'm specialized in, basically eSports. Okay. And seriously, the amount of experience that you get from these live projects, they are mind-boggling.
Okay.
Yeah, and the growth has been immense, and especially the course that we are studying at Nalsar, that has helped a lot into it. Okay, right now since I'm also managing interns, the psychology courses that we have done here has been a great help to know what and in something that those who you are managing, okay, what they need and how you should guide them. All right. That's one of the things which I have loved about the IPM program that we are studying here. And moving forward with something that I'm more specialized in, content writing, that the domain specific courses that we have had for making our English and making other subjects that we need to specialize in much better.
Right.
Okay, has helped me a lot with my projects and my internships. As we know, that has also helped in our growth. I mean, yeah, that's all.
That's very interesting. I mean, how these classroom learnings have actually added in reality to these life projects. So tell me, Ishita, what was your journey like from the first class to the first life project? What was your story there?
So I started not because of a motive. I just started because I had a lot of time since I was the first batch of my COVID-19 and we had a lot of free time. So I started what a normal student would do. I started Googling, I started asking my friends. So there I came up with what we call digital marketing, and then again I went to YouTube, I searched on the videos, what are all the works they do, and I really got inspired from that. I thought I can align my work with that. I thought I would be the best fit for that. So from there I started. I talked to my father. He's a general manager in a company, so he knows a lot of people. So he connected me to a friend of his. He owns a digital marketing agency, so that really helped me a lot. From content writing to PR marketing, he taught me all of that. So yeah, this was the journey from me starting, and then getting a project that was a really hectic task. So Yeah, I used to do cold emailing. I used to do outreach people. So yeah.
So these kind of when you entered into the domain of digital marketing, so did you feel like, Ishita, that you need to have some kind of a prerequisite skill that you need to possess, or you need to garner it somehow in order for you to venture into this field? Was that something that you felt you needed for yourself, or you had it, or something like that?
So in starting, I was noob. So my mentor, my father's friend, used to teach me all of that because nobody would hire a like no experience, no
Right.
skill person. So he taught me that, and when I landed into my first project, that was really different experience. Like I had to juggle with multiple tasks to meet deadlines, to like work academically also, not to mention my academic scores get down in the first year. So yeah, that was really difficult, and
Right.
you need a prerequisite knowledge. I have done some courses, like a normal student would do
Right.
courses, YouTube videos that would help in theoretical knowledge, but for going ahead with the work, I think the real world knowledge would be great.
I think that's a very great point that's been raised. There is a fine line between the theory that you read and the application that comes into those life projects. So tell me, since Sneh, your domain goes a little bit ahead from, say, marketing, so what has been your idea about this? Like, was there something of a theoretical knowledge that helped you go into this field, or was it you learned on the job? I mean, what was your experience like?
Okay, to quote the movie that just came out, Oppenheimer, theory can only take you so far. All right. So the thing that content writer needs, okay, is experience.
Right.
Okay, because the domain specific job that I have would okay is capturing news.
Right.
Okay, news that comes out in the eSports sector and in the streaming sector. So to get better at it, you obviously need experience as you move forward, and those experience require you to work on your trade and know the ins and outs of what the viewers want.
Right.
Okay, and what can help you get the optimal and almost everything out of a news, because news is something that you need to squeeze even the little and the littlest bit of
Right.
information that you can get from it.
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes the topics that I cover, okay, I have to do that from a single line, from a single tweet.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that can be tedious. But yeah, as you go on with the experience, okay, because the moment that I started, obviously you do subpar,
Right.
right? And the moment I started doing it,
Right.
the experience came as I moved forward.
Right.
And that was the major force that drive me and drive my work into leaps and bounds in
Right.
their quality, to the point that I'm getting somewhere around 25K's view,
Okay.
okay, on a single article that I publish.
Right. That's congratulations. I mean, 20,000
Thank
views is not a small feat. So I mean, what was very interesting for me to hear was to inch out even the smallest of information from a particular tweet, and that goes back to the field of digital marketing and social media marketing as well, to find out the niches of what current trends are, and to be on top of your game, to understand what is on brand right now, and then apply that kind of knowledge. And that is very time consuming. And Ishita, you said that you felt ki your first year the academics were impacted a little bit. So how did you balance that? I mean, it's not like you can compromise on the kind of projects and the things that you do, but then again, you are after all an undergraduate student who has to show for their academics, which counts in our CV, which is the first thing that we write in our CV. So how did you balance that, the time that it takes for you to ace in those projects and the time that you require while doing your coursework and your academics? How was the struggle?
So in starting, as I told, it was a COVID era. It was online classes, so it was not that tedious task to
Right.
like manage all the things. But as soon as it came to offline classes,
Right.
that's when the real struggle started.
Right.
To come to attend classes, to give live presentation, to like work in group where the meeting held at as you can relate, like 10 or 11 p.m. students used to sit and do the meeting group projects. So it was like a really tedious task for juggling between multiple tasks. Like I have to shift between because initially I used to do a lot of things together. I used to do content writing also. I used to do social media marketing also. So it was really a tedious task, and I guess I learned to manage that over time. And now also I'm still struggling. I had last my classes at 5:30 and I'm here. So yeah, that that takes a lot of time to like balance it out. It takes a lot of struggle. Like I used to like wake up till late night to work, or like my internship mentor would complain like, what happened to you, you were good to go in like a
few-
year ago,
yeah,
like
yeah.
what happened to you now?
Right.
So yeah, that's a bit of a struggle.
Right, I understand. I mean, and it's also about how you streamline. So, Sneh, how did you streamline in your? I mean, there's a lot of different fields that you have juggled in between. So, how did you make a choice at in what point of time I have to prioritize this or prioritize something else?
So first of all, to the viewers, okay, there's a crucial line that you need to know: your own limits. Surpassing limits is always good, all right, but sometimes to take care of things that are more crucial to you, you need to know when to start and when to stop.
Right.
So having a proper set routine,
Right.
okay, and managing your time, because come on, we are doing management, so we
Right.
need to know how
Absolutely.
to manage yourself.
So true.
All right. So, how to manage your time? All right, and how to give your time to the things which you have to make sure of. Key, I don't fall, or fall behind, lag behind in that.
Right.
So the academics, you need to give, obviously as an undergrad student, you need to give time to that, because you can't you can't be doing your side hustle which you have more interest in at the sacrifice of your academics. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's something that you need to take care of. You need to make sure, you need to make a proper game plan of how you need to tackle the challenges that comes in. Okay, how you need to manage over what, and over the things which you have to prioritize at the moment. All right, you need to think of the present and the future, both.
Right.
Yeah, so having a clear set of goal and having a clear set of what I need to do in the moment, and how should I pursue, or that what I need to do in the next time frame that I'm given, is something that you need to make sure of.
That is absolutely right. And adding to what Sneh said, I absolutely agree with the both of you. I think here, knowing your limit and sometimes learning to let go of few things is very important. I feel like in order for you to understand something, understand what your limits are, and that is something that is sometimes very hard to learn and hard to accept as well. But it teaches you a lot of things, right? So, what do you, and while you make that choice, while you learn to set your limit and learn to understand yourself in the process of juggling academics and doing these kind of projects. So Ishita, tell me, for you, what was that incentive? Was it the stipend, or was it the addition to your CV that made you pursue more of this field or more of these internships, or was it more of an holistic kind of expectations that you had with these kind of projects? What was your idea behind this?
I think no doubt stipend and CV are undeniably appealing.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't like stipend? But the thing is, stipend is also necessary because it is kind of appreciation of my
Yes,
work, what
yes.
I'm doing. And while I get stipend, I push myself to boundaries. I like gain more knowledge. I put more effort to the work, but it should not be the sole driving force. It can be a side incentive. But yeah, in the starting of my work, I used to do free work, and I have done certain projects for my friends that were free. So I think they are appealing, very, very appealing stipend and CV, but you need to focus on more learning and building your experience. I think the stipend and CV can be built later also.
Right.
When you have the proper knowledge and you have that skill,
Right.
people will pay for any money for that.
Right. And which is, I think, I absolutely agree with you here, Ishita, because sometimes when you're chasing after money, you end up losing out on things that you might have learned and grown so much with, right?
Right.
So it should not be the driving force. And what about you, Sneh? What is that driving force for you
All right.
while making a choice?
All right. So, as we know, we are living in a capitalist society. All right. So obviously, stipend is technically the driving force, and as we have learned in our IPM courses, incentivization always helps you in moving your work forward.
Right.
All right. So yeah, stipend was definitely a driving force for me.
Right.
Because I started properly in the domain since December, and since then I have seen leaps and bounds of the incentives that I am getting.
Right.
Okay, and that was definitely something which keeps your focus on the work. But or as Ishita said, that shouldn't be that shouldn't be the only motive of what you're doing.
Right.
So the main thing, okay, which I can consider was more important than stipend to me, was my interest. My interest in the field of work that I am giving my time for.
Right.
Okay. And as I mentioned already, that my close friend got me into it, the domain. Okay. So I kind of do what I do to honor him.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something that I need to put it out there.
I think that's so beautiful. You doing
Yeah.
what you do because you honor him, and I think that goes for your mentor
Yeah.
as well. So it's their work and their contribution to you that also shines in what you put forward in these kind of projects and these internships.
Addition
Yeah.
to your point, I today also I tell him what I do right now. Like
Right,
I
right.
am getting internship at this organization, I'm doing this project, or I take his consent, like is this okay, is this
Right,
fine,
right.
am I doing good? So yeah, that's a really good point. Sneh,
That's something
actually.
that I'll agree on
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah.
I like give him synopsis of what I'm doing.
Right.
Okay, and since he also has the same amount of, if not more, in the same domain, okay, I have someone to share what I'm doing
Right,
with,
right.
and that person also takes the same amount of interest into it. So yeah.
And their pride is very
Yeah,
cherishful.
exactly,
You
exactly.
cherish it. I mean, I
Exactly.
think it's a very B school thing also.
Yeah,
to
it's a
have
very
a
B school
mentor who
Yeah.
finds pride in your work, and you get to learn so much from them. And
Exactly.
Right.
wouldn't you agree, guys, that there is mutual growth that comes out
Yeah,
of it?
Indeed.
Even if they are very elder to you or more experienced, they learn from teaching you, right? So tell me, now that you guys are at a position where you have started going out on your own more, and instead of relying much more on your mentor or so to say, so how do you guys market yourself in the job field and in the field that you do? How do you show yourself, your work, your credentials? Ishita, why don't you take this?
Okay, so like I did earlier, I do the same thing. The foremost thing I do is cold email.
All
Like
right.
I reach out to people, I give them my CV, resume, and my portfolio. So now the task is a little bit easier
Okay,
as
okay.
compared to previously. So yeah, the major thing is connections and cold emailing for
Right.
me.
What about you, Sneh? I mean, how has that been like for you?
Something that viewers need to know is the initial months are tedious.
Yes, very true.
They'll
Exactly.
be tedious in any kind of form of craft that you pick up.
Right.
All right. And something that I am really happy about being the part of the NASA family, okay, is that the brand name has helped me a lot.
Right.
I have been trying my hand at the craft, okay, at the domains that I'm specialized in right now since years now, and I did saw achievement in it, but not to the level that I'm getting right now.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, the Dom's NASA brand name was obviously a great addition to my CV.
Right.
Okay, and that's when the tediousness was uplifted a bit.
Right. Right.
So getting into the domain, moving forward with it, and then you specialize in it,
Right.
you gain experience,
Right.
then you showcase that experience,
Right.
then you move up the ladder, and the journey continues. It's a cycle that goes on.
Right. I think first you use the word cycle, so all I can think of is a revolution. The
Yeah.
first revolution, when you
Indeed.
gain that momentum, it's
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah,
So the
it's
first
easier.
paddle is harder,
Yeah.
but now you have that IPM program's cherry on top,
Indeed,
so to
indeed,
say,
yeah,
the
for
feather on the cap, so
Yeah.
help you get there. So tell me, guys. Now, Ishita, you mentioned that you've been doing courses also to help you in that field. So I want to know, is it important for me now, who also wants to venture, or our viewers who want to venture into the field of digital marketing, should they first do a course and then look for projects or freelancing, or is it the other way around? I mean, what do you think? What's your opinion on this?
I think directly jumping on the field I would not recommend that. I think although this is a theoretical knowledge, but it's really necessary to get into that. You need to know the basic at least. You need to know what is digital marketing. You have to know what are the works you are looking forward to.
Right.
What are the works you will be doing because that's really necessary. So I would recommend, yes, you can do courses. You can, it's not about courses, it's about learning. You can learn wherever you want. If your friend is there to teach you, you can learn from there. The basic part is learning.
Okay.
So I think first you can gain the theoretical knowledge, then when you jump into the real life scenario, you can automatically learn from there also.
Alright.
So it's I also learned while working.
Right.
So that
So the idea is that learning via course helps, but it's best you take up knowledge from wherever sources that you find and then implement it. And what about you, Sneh? Did being a gamer help with being an eSports journalism work?
Well, as you can say, we won't be able to do BBA while studying the courses for engineering. All right.
True.
Yeah, so that's obviously a given. So being a gamer gave me the knowledge that I'm able to work on right now, because as I mentioned in my previous responses, okay, taking something out from a single tweet, okay, is a tedious task. But when you know about the game that you are writing about, the topic that you're writing about beforehand, obviously it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have also went semi-pro in a few FPS games. So
Okay.
yeah, so knowing about the sector more, okay, has helped me obviously a lot. And as you go forward, you thread with it, you
Right.
gain experience.
Right.
Yeah. So again, the revolution that you talked about,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
comes into picture every time.
Right. I think, Sneh, I really want to ask you this. I mean, people play video games and say GTA and stuff like PUBG, and very recreationally, right? But you went on to make a living out of it, so to say, a side hustle
Yeah.
within your course curriculum. How did you make that choice, and most importantly, why? Why go that extra mile and just play for fun? Why that leap?
Okay, so yeah, casual play is fun because that takes off your mind of any kind of problem that you go through. All right, casual play is something that everyone does. Okay, you can read a book. You can just casually pick up something, read it, but you must have a favorite author, right? All right, so you preach that person, you preach that author. Similarly, for me, that's the gaming sector
Right.
as a whole. So I have intensive interest in it. Most of it was grown over time, and there was a leap in it during the COVID era.
Right.
And that's something that I thought, if I am into it, why not make something more out of it? Why not take it from the abstract point of view to a materialistic point of view?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I started searching, and that's when I went into the domain that I'm working in right now.
Right.
Okay. to gain some monetary value out of it.
Right. That is, yeah, Ishita, you wanted to add?
I was adding some points to Sneh's point. Actually, I also used to binge Instagram, used to scroll Instagram all day.
Right.
When I get to know there were ads sponsored, like people used to advertise, then I got curious. I used to like Google it, and that's when I learned like you can earn on Instagram, you can do business on Instagram, and it's not only about scrolling. People are actually earning from there. People are doing marketing over there. So yeah, it's great.
And being the course that we are doing right now, the thing that Ishita is doing is really valuable to her and to the future prospect that she'll take up. So yeah, that's a good
we
thing.
had marketing courses, marketing psychology. So like it really aligned with like my degree really smoothly.
Right. It's like that is, I think, something that we should take away from is taking your leisure activity, finding value in it, and making it yourself, and making hopefully a good future out of it. Right, for both of you guys. I mean, imagine just sitting on your bed and scrolling, and then the next day it is your products that are being scrolled on, and people are trying to buy it, and and
that's
then,
when you know that you are succeeding.
Exactly. Talking about future and succeeding, tell me, what's future? What does Sneh's future look like in the next few months of you? What is a next project that you want to do, or expand from where you are at this stage?
Okay, so the initial point that I went into, in the domain was obviously streaming.
Right.
Okay, but right now, I haven't been dipping my hand into it. Okay, so coming up in the few months, I really want to expand the craft from writing content to producing it. Okay. Yeah, so that's something that's a prospect that I'm looking forward to.
Right.
Okay, there still needs to be a lot done in that.
Right.
And the current work that I'm doing, I'm every day it gets steps up. Okay.
Right.
Like that's when I mentioned. Okay. The initial views weren't high.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, as soon as you get better with it, it goes up. Okay, so the grind never stops.
Yes.
Yeah, the grind doesn't stop, and when you find more prospects to add in, into it, you create a wider spectrum of things that you excel in.
Right.
Yeah, so that's something that I'm looking forward to right now.
Right. The grind never stops, guys. The grind never stops.
Yeah.
So Ishita, what about you? What does the future for Ishita look like in a few months? I mean,
so as Sneh said, there are like always future prospects to which you can grow up with. So when I started, it was like SEO marketing, then comes the social media marketing.
Right.
Now it's influencer marketing, PR marketing. So it's always growing. So I would like myself to go dive more into PR marketing. My last internship was based on that, and I learned too much from that internship, and I would like to implement it for my own. And I would like to jump more in SEO since I am more inclined towards social media marketing right now. I would like to be like more professional in SEO and PR marketing.
That's very interesting. I think, to conclude all of this and to come back to the theme that, I mean, I can see it in your eyes how much you guys have grown with the projects and the things that you've been doing. So beyond the CV that you guys show for yourself, what is one key takeaway throughout your journey from coming to IPM, coming to Nalsar, and showing your work to the outside world? What is that one? If you could describe that in one word, Sneh, what one key takeaway that you have had?
One key takeaway that I would have had. Okay, I obviously can't technically summarize it in one word. Okay, but if I want to stress on one, then that would be exposure. Yeah. Exposure for something that I already had a knack in.
Yeah.
Exposure for something that I started doing as an hobby. Exposure for something that I started gaining a monetary value out of it. And obviously exposure in something that I'm now excelling in.
Right.
Yeah.
That
would be my key takeaway.
That is absolutely amazing. Ishita, what about you? Summarize it for me. Your
learnings. For me, it would be the word growing. from where I started, from where I am, and from where I see myself in 5 years, I would emphasis on the word growing, because if I would look at myself from a year or two now, I would be like really glad and really proud of that girl because she started while googling on it. Now I'm doing really great. So yeah.
She started with Googling on it, now she has ads on Google. So, so I think this
Yeah,
this
that explains her growth.
that
Yeah,
explains
yeah.
her growth, absolutely. So this has been amazing, you guys. I mean, I've known you, but I have not known you. So I am this has been a privilege for me, and thank you so much for doing this episode. Both of you guys' story are amazing, and I wish you the very luck in all your future endeavors. And thank you guys for tuning in. This has been amazing. Insights by Outside X.